Good morning, dear students. Welcome to a new session of Computer Networks Lab. Uh, in this part, we'll be looking out for the simulation experiments related to networking concepts, in which we'll be using the NCTUNS software. NCTUNS stands for National Chiao-Tang University of Taiwan. NS is the network simulator. So we'll be using the network simulator NCTNS in order to conduct the experiments. In order to start off with the experiment, since we require the Linux software in order to run the NCTNS, so let us see how we can just go through that Linux software and try to run the simulations. So in order to do that, the first thing we have to install a virtual player. So it can be a VMware or any other virtual software which will help us to install the Fedora or Linux software. Since we are using Windows on that, we have installed VMware through which we'll be accessing the NCTNS software. That is the Fedora through Fedora. So in order to do that, click on VMware player, then move on to Fedora. See, everything is installed prior to this. Then click on play virtual machine. So this selects this thing. So in this, go and access NCTUNS. So since it is installed in our system, I'm able to access. So please cross verify with all these facilities at your system. So click on NCTUNS. So as we are moving further, let us just go through few concepts. As such, what is meant by TCP and what is meant by UDP, which is the basic requirement in conducting these experiments. So TCP is transmission control protocol and UDP is user datagram protocol. So just briefing of these things. TCP is a reliable protocol, whereas UDP is an unreliable protocol. TCP makes so TCP basically uses the three-way handshaking signal in order to establish the connection prior to having the communication. So if there is a sender and a receiver, first a link has to be established between the sender and the receiver, and then the data exchange happens or communication happens between them. Whereas in UDP, there is no requirement for establishment of the connection. The datagrams are sent directly to the receiver. UDP is unreliable, whereas TCP is reliable. So what does this term imply is it implies that whatever packets which are termed in TCP, when using TCP, the data for data unit is called as packets. The packets which have been sent from the sender should reach the receiver. In case if it is not reaching the receiver, then the receiver can send an acknowledgement back specifying to resend the packet which might have been lost or out of order. So whatever might have happened. In UDP, you are least bothered regarding the datagrams. The data unit when you're using the UDP is termed as datagram. The datagram, if they're lost in between, it is left up to the sender whether he wants to send it or whether he want to discard resending the datagrams. So these are the some differences between TCP and UDP. And since TCP and UDP are related to transport layer, it implies that the address what will be utilized in this case will be the port address, and there will be some length format specification given for the packets or the datagrams what you are using. So these are the things what we'll be checking out. So now we have come through the NCTNS software through the Fedora 8. Now, so let us log in into the system. So this is the Linux operating system. That is the Fedora operating system which we have. Now since in this one we have the NCTNS available in the root itself, so what we can do is we can go to the terminal. So under root itself we have to do the three things. First we have to open the dispatcher which is related to the NCTNS. So once dispatcher is opened, just minimize the terminal, don't close it. So open another terminal, and in this one you open the coordinator. So these two have to be running in order for the NCTNS to work around. Now if any one of this is closed, then communication won't be happening, and you'll not be getting the intended results. So even minimize this terminal, open another terminal. Now you type in NCTUNS client. So what this does is it opens the NCTUNS tool what we want to use. So this is the NCTUNS tool which is available. Now here we can see that there are so many options available in order to build and test the overall network. So if I just hover around a few of them, say you might have heard about the hub, switch, host, router, then the access point, so subnet creation. So these are just a few things to name. Then in that, a few of the important parameters what we have to look out is these DERP what we have specified. So that is what we have to check out for. So D stands for the draw topology. So in this one, when you are in this mode, you'll just be able to set up the entire network. For example, suppose if I just take a host, there are two hosts, and uh, okay, there are two hosts and there is a switch in between. Okay, so these are the three things, and suppose I want to establish a connection. So these things I can do in the draw topology form. So once I do this, say once I create the topology what is required, then in order to configure the systems, now we have just set up the links, we haven't configured it. So in we have to go to the edit property. So before going to edit property, you have to save it. So see that you save it under the root directory, since we are running it under the root itself. So you can give some name for it. So once we do this, what happens is once a system is on a node, it will be assigned. Once a system is created and it is having the nodes will be having the IP addresses. So if you just hover around this blue dot what is seen over here, we can see that it is port ID is 1 and IP address is assigned as 1.0.1.1. Similarly, if I check out here, so even the port address is assigned for this one. So here switch is having the port numbers. So that is what is intended. So port 1 implies that this is connected to port 1 of the switch, and here if I hover, you can see that it is port 1 which is connected, the port 1 of this one is connected to the port 2 of the switch. So this is how we go ahead. So once we get the IP addresses, we have to configure these systems, whether it is a sender or a receiver, whether you are using TCP or whether you are using SCTP, whether you are using TCP or UDP. So in order to do that, you have to go through 4 commands. We can see the commands which can be utilized in order to establish the topology. That is the first one. If you just see, we have a TCP command. So under this we have STCP, which implies that it is a sender node which is using a TCP connection. Then next comes after SCTP, we have specified space hyphen P, which tells that the next number is the port number, so port number is 2000. Next hyphen L, which specifies the length of the packet what we are using, which is around 1 KB, that is 1024. And since we want to send the information or send the packet to another node on the network, then we should know what is the IP address of the other node. So for example, if the sender node is 1.0.1.1 and the receiver is 1.0.1.2, so this address what is specified 1.0.1.2 is the receiver IP address. So that is what we will be looking out in this case. So this is related to the sender. Now what about the receiver, if it is using the TCP command? So receiver is RTCP, which is specified in this form. That is, if I want to make a node as RTCP, then this is what I have to utilize, that is RTCP command. So which where R stands for the receiver and TCP stands for the TCP configuration what it is using. Space, then we specify space hyphen port. So in this one the port number is 2000 and length is 1024. So it is waiting, it can accept packets of size this much, maximum size this much. Now no IP address has to be specified. So, what this indicates is the node which is configured in this way is capable of accepting data from any of the nodes which are sending data to it. So that is what we are looking out for. But in sender, what we are specifying is since if I have to be specifically sending to one of the nodes, then I should specify that address. In this case, if it is a broadcast, then it turns out to be 255.255.255.255. So that is what we are doing here. Next one is the UDP command what we are using, so which makes use of two commands, that is STG and RTG, where STG is for sender node which will be configured for UDP, and RTG is for the receiver, which will be a receiver node which will be configured for UDP configuration. So next we have hyphen U. So in this commands you can see that in STG, which stands for sender, which is using UDP protocol, where hyphen U, U stands for the user datagram, which is the datagram format, which is the data unit for the transport layer when it is using UDP protocol. Then the size of the datagram is 1024. And then we are specifying a time limit of 100 time in seconds for the UDP, and then to whom we are sending. So that is what is being displayed here, that is 1.0.1.2. So these IP address, depending on the receiver this thing, it will be changing. Next we have the receiver RTG. Again we have space hyphen U, which specifies that the receiver is configured for UDP protocol, and then it will be waiting for the user data. It can be waiting for the user datagram, and then we have hyphen W, which basically mentions the width parameter. Then we have the log what will be created. So these are the commands what we are looking out in this case. So these are the common commands what we'll be utilizing in all the experiments. So let us continue with this and see what are the next steps. So coming back to the NCTNS tools, for example, let us assume that we have to configure the host. So in edit mode will be present. So double click the node whom you want to set the configuration. Once you double click on add, and in this you can choose the stop and start this thing. I'll just choose for a short time, for around 40 seconds simulation. So in this command, say for example I want to configure this as Say the IP address of this one is 1.0.1.2 and the IP address of this one is 1.0.1.1. Suppose what I'll do is I'll make this as sender and I'll make this as a receiver, and we can have duplex. The sender also can be acting as a receiver, so use the appropriate command. So I double click the node, click on add. So in this, for example, let us make it as a sender. So I'll type it as stcp, which is making use of TCP command, then space hyphen p, then space hyphen l. So 1024. So be careful with the spaces and all what you are providing. Then to whom you are sending, since only one node is present in this case, the other person has to be the 1.0.1.2. So this is a person to whom you are sending. So I'll just make it as 40 seconds. So click OK. So now we have made it as a sender. Now if I want to make it as a receiver, I can go here, I can type the command rtcp-p, then the port address. So these all things I can do it. Now suppose if I want to edit this one, so I click on this, I say modify. So I have to check out if any mistakes are there. So in this case, deliberately there was a mistake which has been done, otherwise it would not be a success. So again stcp hyphen this time packet size, so it is 2000, then hyphen l, it is 1024, and this is the IP address of the receiver. Okay, so this is how we configure the sender. uh, Along with this, we have to do few more steps. That is, we have to go to node editor. In node editor, you can see that there is a mac 8023. So we have to look out these things. Since we want the log information, so we have to go to this part, node editor, and try to adjust what all details we want. Now here I can see MAC address, don't disturb these things. Then we have transmission mode, whether you want it to be a half duplex, that is only one person can be sending at any given time and only one person can be receiving at any given time. Or if you want to make it full duplex, that is a person can send and receive at simultaneously. So that is or the node what we are speaking of. So I will make it as full duplex. Then what all log statistics are required? So in this case we have click on the log statistics required. Now in this case you can have all these options available. Now what I can do is I can just have a test on the collisions, the number of drop packets. Now if it is incoming data for the node, then you can see what is the throughput of this. Then if it is outgoing, if the data is outgoing, and I want to see what is the throughput, so which basically tells me the efficiency of the overall system. So I can click on whatever parameters are required. So these will be stored with the log file name which is present here. So I'll just say OK. So when you come to this screen after you say OK, it is observed that sometimes what happens is if I use the mouse and click it, I close this window, I see some errors popping up. So we have to just check out what those errors are. So so let us not try to complicate those things. So when we come to this screen again, once we have done the changes in the mac 8023, so we press enter from the keyboard. So once we have done that, so we have created what all statistics are required. We have mentioned what all statistics are required for the overall configurations. So now here click OK. So this one is configured as a sender, but this one is yet to be configured as a receiver. If I leave it idle, it will not be a receiver, it will not be a sender, it is just a idle machine which is sitting over there. So double click, add. So even in this case I'll just make it as 40 seconds, otherwise simulation will run for a long time. So next rtcp hyphen p, port number 2000-L1024. Now since it is a receiver, it can receive from any of the other nodes, so I'll not specify any IP address. So IP address specification is not required, so you say OK. Now if you want to make it as a sender also, you can just click here, again type sctp command what we typed previously, and then continue. Okay, so again in this case also we have to specify the node editor. Since this is a different node, what are the node statistics at these nodes? So click on node editor, Mac 8038, make it as full duplex, go to log packets. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be taking the collision packets, number of packets which collide, number of packets which are dropped, and say since it is for incoming, throughput of the incoming packets. So I'll just take these three components, say OK. So again in the when you come back, make it a habit that you click and you press the enter button on the keyboard. So OK. So this is what you'll be doing in the edit property mode. So these are the things what you have done. Now suppose you want to run the simulation. So you click this run button. So it says save it. So click on say yes. Now when you get this information, here also make it a habit that you press the enter key on the keyboard, or do not close this window, just press enter key on the keyboard. So once that is being done, so it should be in running mode. Now go to simulation, click on run. So you can see that the simulation is running. So in this process what is happening is this host is sending some packets to this host via the switch. So simulation has been done. So let us say OK, file transfer. So everything has been done in this case. Now we have to see what has actually happened. Now since there are only two nodes, there will be no dropping of packets at different points. If there was another packet, then there would be a dropping happening dependingly. So if I just click play, you can see that some animation is being displayed. So here what is happening, so you can see that data has been received from one end to the other end, and acknowledgement will be sent. So you can see that data has been sent from this person node 1 to switch, and from switch to node 3, and in turn it is sending the acknowledgement information. So here we can see that there are no drops since we haven't connected any other node over here. So what I'll do is I'll stop it here. So this shows that the simulation is up and running. Now if I want to again play back, you can just play back whatever had happened or whatever previous log you had created, that it shows the simulation. So I'll just stop it. So this is how I make use of the overall NCTNS in order to build the configuration or draw the topology and then edit it and then run it and then try to see what had happened previously. Now apart from this, if I want to have a check on the statistical information, so I go to GTools in this plot graph. Now in this I click file, open. Now I had given the name as example1. So in this under the root, so under the root itself you check for example1 dot results. So in this case I have it directly, so it is example1 dot results. So I can see that it has collision, drop, so n3 to p1, n3 to the sync input throughput. So these are all options available. So since drop is not there, let us just check out the throughput, that is n1 to p1, what is specified. So you can see that the throughput, so as time increases throughput becomes better. So since we do not have any collisions or anything, so this graph is appearing in this form. So this is how we check out for the graphs, and we had seen that there were no drops, so therefore we don't have any plot in this. It has been plotted but no drops are there, it is 0. Even collisions were not there, So this is what is available. So these are the things what we will be doing using the NCTUNS tool. So the file will be stored as .tpl file, that is topology file. So this is all for NCTUNS. So this is all for today. Let us meet in the next session. Thank you.